This is a Tesla Model S. It's an electric car, a usable one at that. Every time someone sees one, they say how wonderful it is and how it's the future. The Model S and Tesla is the brainchild of Elon Musk, the guy behind PayPal and SpaceX, a sort of intergalactic delivery service for the International Space Station. Now he's using his not inconsiderable wealth to do what you'd hope every rich businessman would do: build awesome cars and go to space. In that respect, he's a little bit like Tony Stark. Elon named his company after Nikola Tesla, the chap who came up with alternating current and revolutionised our lives. Guess which fuel it works with exclusively? Tesla was an underappreciated genius who discovered plenty of things long before they were officially invented, things like X-ray, radio, radar. The Model S is the company's second car, the first being the Roadster, a Lotus Elise-based open top that could go around 100 miles on a charge and top 60 miles an hour in under 4 seconds. It was a gateway car. The Roadster was something of a rolling shop front for Tesla. Here was a fast, desirable, usable car that showed the world EVs didn't have to be boring. They weren't cheap though, about £100,000 over here. But every bit of that money and investment cash didn't go into people's pockets. It went into creating the next product, the Model S. The people that bought them weren't just customers either. They were also development drivers. That's something I really admire about Tesla and companies like it. It doesn't do things the same way as the rest of the automotive industry. It takes a more Silicon Valley approach. They see what's missing, in this case an EV, develop the first iteration, watch people buy it, listen to their complaints, and fix them for the next one. Oh, and find ways to make the product better anyway. That's why there are 3 versions of the Roadster, and that's why the Model S was so good straight out of the box. When the Model S launched in 2012, the world went a little bit mad. It took a while to find its way to Britain, but once it did, the press loved it. You see a few kicking about London, but where you really see them are places like California and the Netherlands, where being green really matters. But EVs shouldn't be all about green cred. No, EVs need to do everything a normal car does and a little bit more besides. A lot of people are worried about range anxiety. Nissan's Leaf and Tesla's Roadster only really do about 100 miles to a charge. And when you say it out loud, that doesn't sound very promising, but when you remember that the average commute's only 40 miles, it's not so bad. Either way, it's a fear the S goes a very long way to allay. There are 3 varieties of the Model S, the 60, 85 and 85 Performance. I always worry with alternative fuel cars that you lose something by adding powertrain, or in this case subtracting an internal combustion engine, but here you just don't. The motor is so powerful, the torque is just mind-blowing, and it is instant. You put your foot down and bang, you're gone. The throttle progression is beautiful, it's seamless, it's so easy to use, easier than a normal car because you don't have to learn where the sweet spot is on the throttle or anything like that. You just modulate your foot very gently, and if you want a bit more speed, put it down a bit. If you want a bit less, lift it off, and then the brake regen, the energy regen, will give you a little bit of power back. It can get quite aggressive, that regen, though once you get used to it, it's not too bad. Now, this thing has, in theory, 320 miles of range. I've been driving around a bit, and I'm not worried about it running out. The readout is very reliable. And if you are worried, currently in London there are 5 free Tesla supercharger points, and what's really smart about that is that Tesla hasn't put them anywhere silly. They've put them in places that you wouldn't mind stopping for, say, half an hour if you need to recharge it up to 80%, or just over an hour if you want to charge it to 100%. There's also a network of these things running right up the country, so you can drive from London to Edinburgh in an electric car. Yes, EVs still require planning to go great distances, but it's not as big a problem as it used to be. There is one downside that is quite disappointing. It's the ride comfort. It feels quite harsh for a car like this. You'd expect it to be just a little bit more comfortable, but you do feel pretty much every lump and bump in the road, and that is going to come along with the noise as well. There are disadvantages to having a quiet car that has an enormous bank of batteries sat in its belly. want to talk a little bit about the interior, especially this center console thing. It's basically a giant iPad. You can browse the web on it, you can hook it up to your house, so if Tesla needs to send you a software update, it'll just do it for you. Now, because of this iPad center console, there's no buttons everywhere, it's just a big screen. And it means there's not really much of anything. There's a big tray down here because there's no transmission tunnel, and there's loads of space in here. There's also the option for 5+2 seating. You can have 2 extra seats in the back if you have children or friends that you don't particularly like. It's a very practical car, this, and it's used every advantage it can possibly get from not needing all the regular car tech. To sum this up, you know what? It's fast, it feels good, it looks great. This is the best example of the breed I've had the privilege of driving. This thing is incredible, and it's gonna start something big. It's also very safe. It scored an impressive 5 stars in the Euro NCAP test, which is pretty good. Then there's the cost advantages of using one of these. Using Tesla's maths, a Model S will cost £1,702 to drive 45,000 miles in a year, paying up to 13 pence per kilowatt hour. An average car managing 36.7 mpg at £1.33 a litre will cost you £7,414 for the same time and distance. However, then you look at buying the car that'll save you nearly 6k. The one we have is nearly £70,000, though the base one is a ton shy of 50 grand. A car averaging 36.7 mpg, a Renault Megane Trophy, for example, is £36,000 and offers the same 0 to 60 time as the base S. You'll need to own the Tesla for 2 and a bit years to make up the price difference in fuel. The electric car has been around for over 100 years. It's been in and then out of vogue numerous times, but in the 21st century, it's here to stay. The Model S is just the second product from Tesla. Soon there's going to be a Model SD. The D stands for dual. That means it's got 2 motors and all-wheel drive and more power. Following that will be the Model X, which is the SUV people carrier thing. It has Falcon doors which open upwards, which is all kinds of cool. This isn't just the future of motoring, it should be the present too. We just need an infrastructure to make charging quick and easy, and battery tech to make even the smallest car go thousands of miles on a charge. Give Elon Musk time, and we'll have it. The big question is, no matter how good the Model S is, do you lose anything by not having a noisy engine or gears to play with? I mean, yeah, a little bit of aural stimulation and a mite of tactility, but other than that, no. The electric car is here, and it works.